Hey everyone, this is Rob. I'm here in my friend Ricky's garage. He has graciously lent it to me for the last couple of weeks so I can work on this thing. This is a Kraylix arcade cabinet. It's made by a guy out in Dallas. Goes by the name of Cray. I'm not sure if that's his real name or not, but you can look him up at kraylixarcade.com. He sells either kits or pre-made and pre-painted cabinets. This one is one that a friend of mine bought as a kit. He never put it together, so I bought it off of him. I bought some from him that were already pre-painted, and here, let me tell you, if you have a choice, buy them pre-painted. I know he charges quite a bit for it, but it's totally worth it because this is a pain in the ass. I actually tried to get this done by an auto body guy that I contacted. I put out some bids on Craigslist, and he totally botched it. That's a whole other story. I will put a link to it in the video notes. But essentially what happened is he screwed it up so badly that I no longer trust anybody to do it but myself, even though I've never done it before. I figured I would figure it out and do a better job than him. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm prepping this. I don't have the tools to do the paint job, but I can learn and get the tools to prep it. What I mean by prepping is these are all made out of MDF wood. That's a medium density fiberboard, I think. And what it is it's basically just pressed wood glued together. And if you cut it, the edges are kind of smooth, but if you cut it, you get this really porous kind of surface, and it doesn't paint well. You can see where he tried to paint it right there, and it just looks like complete crap. That's because he didn't prep it. You need to seal these porous edges so that it takes the paint, the primer and the paint, and it doesn't absorb it, because if they're porous like that, it just absorbs the paint. It just looks like crap. You can't ever get a slick, shiny surface on a porous surface like that. So what you need to do is, if you look here, I took wood filler and just put a liberal amount all over the cut edges that were very rough, and I sanded them down with 220 grit sandpaper, and then went back and sanded it down with 400 grit sandpaper. And on this one, before I knew you could use wood filler, I'd actually done this one before I even sent it to the painter originally. This one I used Bondo on, and it works good. It's just that Bondo is really difficult to work with. It hardens very quickly. You have to mix it up, and then your batch, you have to mix small batches. It's good for like, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes. Then it just becomes so hard you can't mold it, or it doesn't stick to anything. It's a pain in the ass. It did work pretty well, but once I learned that you can use wood filler, I researched it online, figured out you could use wood filler. Just went with that, much easier. You don't have to mix anything. It's soft. It's great. It's pretty cheap. I think I bought a whole quart of it or whatever it was for like $7. So anyway, just been working on filling all those rough edges, and it doesn't sound like a lot of work, but because this guy had already done some work to it, I had to basically undo the work. I had to buy a sander, and I sanded off all the shit that he had done. That's why it looks all gray like that. I sanded off all his stuff and basically had to redo everything. So now I'm sealing all the edges, and now after I seal these edges, I'm going to prime it, sand it, and get it ready for a painter. So essentially, when I take it to a painter, all he has to do is paint it. He doesn't have to do any work to the edges or anything like that. Just gun it. Prime it, paint it, clear coat it. You're done. I just don't trust anybody to do it anymore. In fact, before I started to do this on my own, I contacted 15 different companies on Yelp that were auto body places, and asked them to put a bid on this, and none of them would touch it. Not even a high bid. Nobody would touch it because they knew it's a lot of work. I've been doing this for a couple weeks now, not continuously, but on my free nights, I will come over here and just work on this thing. Put that wood filler, I sanded it down. I had some help from Milan one night on that, but sanding it down, putting wood filler, sanding that down, sanding it again, filling the places you missed, sanding it again. And it doesn't look like a lot of work, but it's a ton. So anyway, it's moving along. I'm hoping to be done by, the 26th or 27th of March. I forgot which day is a Saturday, but one of those 2 days is our next tournament. So I'm hoping that I can get this done here pretty quickly in the next week or so, then get it off to a reputable painter so that he can finish the job. But yeah, anyway, that's what I'm doing. Instead of practicing my Nikali and learning the geef that I'm trying to learn, I'm doing this. I'm learning how to work with wood. So anyway, that's the update, and I will see you all soon.